Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. This week, Nick and I are getting excited for FoBAB. Lots of events happening around that this weekend. And then we talk about all the things we hit up this past week. BeerHoptacular, we hit up a handful of brew pubs like On Tour, Great Central, Goose Island, and Nick was even out drinking some scotch. All that and more on this week's episode.
The legend, Mr. Pete Crowley. I love Pete Crowley, man.
How's that beer? It's what you think it is.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. Every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski.
Brad, what's up, man? I'm Nick White.
And we are drinking soda this week, right?
You know, when you pulled it out, I'm like, this looks just like that $12 soda they try to sell me at Small Cheval with my burger.
Yeah.
And I'm not going. Every time, I'm not going.
Yeah, we're drinking the Wari. Is it the Wari or Wari?
Wari sounds good.
Wari from Off Color. It's their 3.8%. Is it Chia? Chia inspired beer. So the Chia is that beer that you like chew the I don't know, the grain and you spit it in.
Yeah, it was somewhere. I want to say the Aztecs or somewhere down
Peru.
in Peru.
Yeah.
Yeah, where when they made it, they didn't make this beer this way.
No.
But the original style was they would chew the corn in their mouth, right? Mm-hmm. And then that began the process of, of the beer.
Peruvian purple corn.
Yeah.
And honey malt in this.
And that show that
the Dogfish had one. Or
yeah.
that Sam Calgiolian was the star of,
what was that? It was a good show. Brewmasters.
Yeah.
They made a Wari beer.
And
but I think they actually spin it.
Spin it, yeah.
Yeah. This was not made with any spin. I'm gonna spin your beer right
what?
now, Brad. So we can no.
That all gets boiled out anyway.
That's true. Yeah.
All that spit gets boiled out. I know when I was in Peru, 5 years ago, we were looking for that beverage. We never could find it. It was supposed to be you put a plastic bag on the outside of your door when you have it. I don't know. We never really saw.
Oh, and it's like hooch, and someone knows you want this beer.
Yeah, it's kind of like homebrewed stuff. I don't know if they still spit on it, but it's just kind of makeshift booze. Yeah. But this doesn't taste like this. Tastes well crafted.
This beer's pleasant. Nice hint of tartness. They're using some kind of berry in here. Mole berry.
Mole berry, okay.
Yeah. Oh, and lactobacillus. Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
And this is a collab with the Field Museum.
Right. So that's what it's kind of weird and off and different.
It's right in line with just about everything they do.
That's true. Yeah, very much. But it's appropriate that we're drinking this because this week Off Color opened up their tap room.
They sure did. The Mousetrap. Mm-hmm. Great name for a tap room.
Yeah.
And this is right in the shadows of the Lincoln Park Whole Foods.
Right, yeah.
It's just
right next door.
Yeah, it's right there. So it's cool, man. It's almost like an industrial kind of, I want to say an industrial strip mall kind of.
Right.
That's kind of how it looks.
There's also the Children's Science museum or thing that's attached down the way a little bit, or it was. I don't know if it's still there.
They got parking in the back, which is cool.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. And I went for the Dino S'mores launch party.
Cool.
Yeah. So we missed coffee. Coffee Dino S'mores just kicked.
Yeah.
And I believe Barrel Aged Dino S'mores was gone too.
Okay.
Yeah, so we missed both of those.
So did you pick up bottles too, or did you just have it on draft?
Yeah, I got a 4-pack to go.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I was there, they have a Buffalo Trace Barrel Aged Dino S'mores that they're not going to sell from 2 years ago, I believe.
Okay.
But on tap they had maybe 6 beers, Barrel Aged Growl, and then and a bunch of Dino S'mores variants, and you get to see the space.
Yeah. How's it look?
It's fantastic.
Okay.
That space looks really good. I don't know. Oh yeah, so they're doing all the clean beers there? No, all the sour beers there, and the clean beers at the original location, I think.
Oh, okay. So they actually do brew there, or they just
Yeah.
barrel there?
Well, no, I believe there's a brew system there. I definitely saw the fooders. I didn't get the tour.
Okay.
But the fooders are kind of hard to miss as soon as you walk in. Yeah.
Okay. So it is a brew, or So it's a tap room because
Yeah.
they don't have food, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. They got a pizza hotline. You can call. You can call and order any pizza. Bring any food in.
Right. Well, why don't you just go to Whole Foods? You have unlimited
yeah, there you
supply
go.
of all kinds of stuff at their like hot bar kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious to know like what other places they vetted before landing in that space. It's a nice space. Yeah, and it's good for that area because what's over there other than Goose?
Right. Yeah, because we've talked about it before that there's when you go to Goose, there's nothing there. Like, why would you go to Goose? And now, hopefully, that adds a little something extra to maybe go to Goose and then go over to Off Color, something like that.
Yeah, you got that Goose Off Color, Benny's Triangle right there. Yeah, it was a good time. They're actually calling it. I think that neighborhood is Goose Island, like the neighborhood.
Yeah.
When people are checking in on like Foursquare,
Oh, it
it
says Goose, yeah.
pops up as Off Color at Goose Island.
Yeah, it is because it's in between that before the water there. Yeah, so that makes sense. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I need to check it out. Talked about like usually ride my bike, so maybe I'll hit it up on my way home one day and just stop in maybe after the first week because like the insane craze
yeah.
dies down a little bit.
I love the tile work there. The tile is like this play on like this landscape that a mouse would play on, but it's in kind of like this 80s kind of font, you know,
Okay.
like 80s computer game kind of font. Kind of like if you ever go to well now it's Geno's East, but if you as soon as you walk into Geno's East, that's the old Michael Jordan's restaurant, and you lift up that rug and you see the old basketball with the Michael Jordan shoes on it. It's in that style. I'm drawing a blank on that, whatever that's called, but
Okay.
it just looks really cool.
Nice. Okay. Cool. So you did that. Did you make it to anything else? I know I saw some pictures from Hoptacular.
Oh yeah, the 7th annual BeerHoptacular, man.
Man. Okay.
Yeah. So I was at the morning session, and this was at Cinespace. You know, I think I've been to all of these, man. Yeah, it was one of my favorite parties because it would always rotate. You know, it's been at Aragon a few times. You know, it's been at it was at an outdoor pop-up tent once. You know,
Right. Where that horse thing was.
yeah, and you know, and the last 2 years since it's been under Lou Dog Events, it's been out at Cinespace.
Yeah. I missed this year.
Yeah, it was great. They were saying how well the rooms are all painted black now, so it gives it like a clean like party space kind of look. It's still in an open, you know, film studio,
Right.
but it gives it a little bit of a different vibe.
Okay.
And they doubled the space this year, so they got 2 rooms instead of the one, and everyone was lined up not in alphabetical order, but in order of distribution. You know, so if you were with Windy City, you're on this wall, and
Okay.
if you're independent, you're in like the next room, right? That kind of thing.
Interesting.
You know, he's stepping his game up, man. He's doing a lot of cool stuff. There's like there's this insole booth that was there last year, but this year there was an infusion station. You know, there's a mariachi band. There's this Lou Dog Secret Society you can sign up for. They were pouring that fun size beer that was from Pollyanna, the one that's inspired by
yeah,
like
okay.
a candy bar.
Candy bar. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of cool tappings that I wasn't expecting to see. Like I don't know if you had anything from Prairie Artists and Ales down
I
in
have.
Oklahoma.
They're like the bomb.
Yeah, they got that bomb series. I had something called Paradise. It was
Okay.
like a 14% stout with like coconut and vanilla.
Oh, okay.
You know, Goose Island was pouring coffee, BCS from 2014. You know, yeah, Reaper versus Unicorn from Pipeworks. A lot of cool stuff. You know, I was expecting everybody to bring like their mainline stuff, but there were some exceptions to that. So I had myself a good old time, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah. There was a Gumball Head merch state. Gumball Head the cat, Rob Sayers, the guy who designed Gumball Head.
Yeah.
He had his own booth, and I meant to get these. He had some really cool Lou Dog events merch.
Oh, that stuff he drew, kind of thing.
Yeah, BeerHoptacular shirts or the Chicago Elfest hat was probably my favorite item that I saw, and I didn't get either one of those. I hope they put it up on their website.
Oh, awesome. Nice. Yeah, I saw a few pictures from it. How did it compare to other years, do you think?
This was good. My favorite venue was probably still the Aragon. I mean, the Aragon's a really cool venue.
Yeah.
I think, but those parties were often like a little too crowded, and then if there are, how the Aragon's got 2 levels. They got the main floor seating, then they got that movie theater pavilion style seating upstairs.
Right.
Those areas are kind of like unnecessarily dark, like really kind of weird. I learned a story about BeerHoptacular. So apparently I always thought it was a Jam Productions event, but this guy who was the founder of Parse Rum. I don't know if you had Parse before.
No, I don't think so.
He's the guy who started BeerHoptacular. Actually, was the founder of Parse Rum, and when Parse Rum took off, he said, "Hey man, I'm selling rum. I got no time for anything beer related."
Okay.
So then, he stops. He says, "I'm going to stop doing it." So then Marty Nachel, who runs the homebrew competition, he said, "Hey man, it doesn't have to die. I know this guy that's doing all these parties at Lou Dog events. Why don't you guys talk?
Take it over."
And then boom, he took it over. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, my favorite part is hanging out with those homebrew guys, man. Like, the homebrew judges, right? There's always guys from the Chicago Beer Society. There's Marty Nachel. There's a couple guys from the Beverage Institute.
Oh, cool.
And that's always a good time because they're always talking about events that happened in the 80s and 90s, so.
It's just like, okay, that's cool.
But it had me wondering, man, like, is there what's better than November for craft beer, man? I was thinking about Dark Lord Day and Chicago Craft Beer Week, which, beer under glass, and this year the Pipeworks pop-up. That's in May. And, May is a pretty good month. But as a month, you're talking Black Friday, BeerHoptacular, FoBAB.
Yeah, those are pretty big. Yeah, can you slip is there another one that we're missing for that weekend in between all that? Yeah, I don't know.
Usually the Map Room's anniversary is usually in November.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what my favorite month is, but November is near the top, man. And I think this party is a part of that for me.
Okay.
So it was good, man.
That's awesome. And we've had, we have Off Color opening this month, and then I think
the Maple Room.
Maple Room's going to open soon, too. So, yeah, it's turned into a good November for sure.
Yeah.
Nice. Anything else then with Hoptacular, or you go anywhere else afterwards?
Hoptacular. Oh, a couple more notes about Hoptacular. They had room for 6,000. They capped it at 4,000 though.
Okay.
Oh, but the city initially wanted them to only have 250 people in each room because there's only one,
exit.
There's only one fire exit in each room, and so they had to file like this 1 day exemption with the city in order to get more people in there. Ridiculous red tape they were talking about.
That's crazy. 250 people. Yeah.
They're like, you can only. I mean, this place is huge, man.
Right. Yeah.
It's like one of the biggest spaces of any party.
I think there would have been 250 brewers and people pouring.
Just staff. Yeah. So that was funny. But yeah. Beer Hop was a great time, and I had a really good time. So talking 150 breweries, 74 breweries, 150 beers.
That's awesome. Yeah. Cool. Let's see. I made it over to Great Central again.
Right on. Now these are the guys.
They're just brewing a lot of people's beer. They're brewing Maplewoods. They're brewing Beguile stuff. They're brewing War Pigs. Just a lot of different people.
How's that space, man?
It's big. That's the only that's the only way to describe it. It's not super nice. It's not ugly. It's just this big room, tons of seating. They have board games. You could just have a big group there, no problem.
I can picture the space. I don't think what was there? Was that building even there before they moved in?
No, they built that building.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that might have been, there was a storm, and one of those walls fell down, I think, and flattened a truck or something.
Yeah. Initially, the concept of a contract brewer in Chicago, I didn't understand where they were going with that. Why would you do that? But
it's working out.
Dude, they got some serious clients, man. Yeah.
So I just really went in to check it out because I saw you had checked into and posted a picture from On Tour.
Oh, yeah. I was around the corner at On Tour.
So I was like, I can't go to On Tour. So I went over to Great Central.
I had I had a German Pils and a West Coast IPA.
Okay.
Because I was a judge in the homebrew contest, right? And shout out to Boss Brewers of South Suburbia. They won the homebrew contest at BeerHoptacular. But once you try these beers, these really ambitious beers these homebrewers are making, and the body could be a little different, or there's this strange aftertaste, or I don't know, this kind of smells like cooked vegetable.
They're not right. They're right.
Right. And then then you go to a place like On Tour, and it's they're not trying to do, they just want to make clean, good beer.
Yeah.
No frills. And I was like, I didn't appreciate that until I did this homebrew contest. Right.
Until you have bad stuff, you don't realize how good some things are. So yeah, I didn't go on tour, so I went there, and then I also stopped in at Goose, Fulton Pub. Was open, pretty busy over there. I just grabbed one beer. I had the Bridge. It was a American oak barrel aged beer, low ABV though, so really nice.
I'm glad they're doing other stuff with, like their off-season program, if you will, or just having like other options other than the low drinkability of the 14% Bourbon County Stout.
Right, exactly, yeah.
It does not for every occasion.
Yeah, I did not want one of those. I may have gotten it if I would have saw like, oh, coffee's on tap for whatever reason or something. I might have got it, but I saw the bridge. I was like, never even heard of this beer.
Right.
I'm gonna check it out, and it was great.
And their prices are pretty solid over there.
Yeah, and they're good. You get a weird mix of people coming in there because you have people. Some guy sat down next to me and asked the bartender, like, "Oh, how long you guys been open?" And like, I think the tap.
Have you guys been brewing long?
The tap room, and she's like, "Yeah, like 3 years." He's like, "Oh, what? I didn't even know." And then some other ladies coming in, like, "Oh, I like Allagash and Blue Moon. What do you got?" And so they gave her 312 yellow. And
not green.
Not green. Don't give her green. So you just get that weird mix that people are searching out Bourbon County and people that are like, I don't know, I just wandered in here. For some reason, I'm in this, like, packing district neighborhood.
It's basically what it is, right? That area is coming to life, man, just on the beer side. Because, Cobra was always there, but Cobra's brewing now. And then, this On Tour and Finch is right there and Goose. That's all pretty much on the same corner. Like,
they have coasters
they're a block apart.
At Goose. It's like brewing district or something they're calling it.
Yeah.
They have them all listed with a little map so you could like make a little tour and go to them all.
Yeah, like On Tour is a couple blocks away.
Yeah.
Rhinehall, which is the distillery, is a couple blocks away.
Yeah, but that has super weird hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then you can't go to Finch or no one knows.
Yeah, what's up with Finch,
I don't know.
man? Yeah.
If you're going to be there, let people come in, right?
I mean, dude, they went out of their way to put that big ass sign up to say they painted the whole building said with Finch.
I know no one cares about you, Finch, but if you're open, people might start caring. How am I gonna try your beer?
I'm on the green line.
I gotta buy a 4-pack.
It's hard to miss that sign.
Yeah. I'm not buying a 4-pack. I'll go to your tap room and I'll try something. But
Finch,
give me that option.
Get your life together, Finch. All right, because I kind of want to go see what. Like you said, you're over there in the meat packing beer district. I want to hit all the meat packing breweries.
Yeah, give me a meat beer. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, I went to Prop Day at Bang Bang Pie Shop.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Not Prop Day. Prop Day is on the 18th.
Prop Pie Day.
Prop Pie Day at Bang Bang Pie Shop. I think they had like 40 pre-orders and like 50 walk-ups. Nothing really to report there. They had some prop on tap.
Was there a line for it?
No, you could slide right in.
I thought about it, but then
slide right in,
I remembered around like noon.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's too late.
I got there. It started at 9, so I got there like 8-ish.
Okay.
But then like everyone in line had already pre-ordered.
Oh, nice.
So
okay.
yeah, dude, they did a good job with that pie, man, because it's not too it's not overly rich, so you can still pair it with beer. You can still pair it with like ice cream. You know what I mean? Like it's a good complement to something that's sweeter, and that's what I dug about it. The custard is it's dense. It's not like creamy. It's kind of
okay.
You know what I mean? It's good. It's good.
Did they have the Bourbon County go with it, or?
Yeah, so you give your token, and then you get like a small pour, maybe like a 2-ounce pour.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Did you dive into the pie right there?
Right on the spot, man. I'm not here to fuck around.
Oh
man.
shit.
I'm like, dude, let me get this. Let me get these breakfast biscuits. Let me get this coffee. Let me get this BCS. Let me open this pie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great way to start your day.
I was a happy camper. And then they started, this guy had this backpack on, one of the Goose guys. They started pouring around like hot apple cider.
Oh, okay.
I was like, dude, it kind of reminded me a little bit of being on like a camping trip or something. We went on a camping trip with those guys at the Hot Farm.
Yeah.
And it was reminiscent of that for me.
Oh, that's
just
cool.
like a really, it was a very good Sunday morning. Very good. So.
Awesome. Well, I think that does it for our week then, right?
Yeah. Wait, I got one more thing.
One more event. Okay.
I went to the Heavy Feather in Logan. So Slippery Slope is downstairs. Heavy Feather is like this not really speakeasy, but it's a bar with a different theme upstairs.
Okay, because downstairs they have like little bottled cocktails. Yeah. They have skee ball.
High energy. There's a lot of hip hop, a lot of high energy dance music whenever I go to Slippery Slope. It's always a fun time. Yeah. Yeah. But the Heavy Feather's a different vibe. It's like walking into like 1978, like Love Boat era, like kind of bar.
Okay.
Oh, but the Glenfiddich guys were there. because they're a single malt whiskey producer, Scotch, and they had a new product. They have this new experimental series.
Okay.
So they introduced 3. The one I was interested in was they have an IPA Scotch, man. Scotch is jumping the shark now with this bullshit.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
It was interesting though because there's a crew called Speyside. Am I saying that right? You know, it refers to the region over there.
I don't know.
Oh well, Speyside IPA. So they made this. They took the Scotch barrel, which starts as a bourbon barrel.
Yeah.
They took the Scotch barrel. They designed an IPA to season that barrel, right?
Okay.
And they were like the Scotch guys are saying, "Hey man, when we had the beer kind of tasted like shit." But what they had to do was like overly hop and make a overly bitter IPA, so that it would stand up to the cask. So they seasoned the cask for 4 to 6 months with an IPA. Pour the IPA out, put the Scotch in it.
I'm surprised they didn't keep the IPA.
I wonder what happened to the IPA. That'd be a follow-up question for me.
Maybe it was really bad or like infected or something. But okay.
Because when you go down to the Bourbon Trail, they'll tell you beer. Whiskey starts as beer basically, right?
Yeah.
And then but they would never sell you the beer, as a finished product because it's not, it's not very good.
Right.
Yeah. So
then how did the Scotch taste?
the Scotch was nice. I didn't understand it until I had the other 2 Scotches.
How the flavor tasted? Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's like, and I think the whole point of the event was to say, hey, a lot of people view Scotch as something that's neat and you should have on your own, but Scotch is actually like a very versatile drink that goes in cocktails, and most of the Scotches that are made are not peated. There are some exceptions, like the Lefroy guys.
Oh, really?
And, the Cuddy Sark guys, they make overly peated Scotches, but these guys are saying the top 5 producers, who is it? Like Glenlivet and Ballavine and Highland Park and I'm missing a few. Macallan. It's like 90% of their products aren't peated at all. And peated, of course, just refers to, hey, we got this malted barley and we dried it with this peat, which infuses this smoky kind of. They're saying most of those products.
What?
Yeah, most of those products are not peated.
That's crazy. I always think Scotch and peat go together.
Yeah, I think so too. But it was interesting, man.
Why wouldn't they just dry hop the Scotch? What did putting the IPA in a barrel do versus just throwing hops into the barrel?
It's just laws in Scotland. That is a good question. Someone asked that. They were like they said, hey, it's not like Canadian whiskey allows for up to like 15% of other ingredients, whether that's, a mulled wine or, like straight up rum or whatever. You can add that in Canadian whiskey. And you know how American whiskey has that weird, it's not a weird rule, but they have a rule that you can only use the barrel once.
Yeah, bourbon.
Bourbon has that rule.
American whiskey, I think that's
American whiskey, y'all bet.
Free game.
Yeah, a little looser, right? Oh, but they were saying like, hey, with this, that's just one of the rules. You can't add anything to it.
Oh, okay.
And that was their way around it. And they were like, hey, we're this 150, 200-year-old company, and we got all this Scotch, and we need to do something. So it gave them some room to start this experimental series.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good idea.
Oh, IPA is here. It has to be called an India Pale Ale cask. Everywhere else in the world is just called IPA Scotch, right? But they said if you called it IPA Scotch here, it would be misleading.
Because people would think it's a Scotch IPA, like a Scotch beer, but like a bitter Scotch beer, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, kind of like, Canadian breakfast stout and Kentucky breakfast stout, they can't be called that. They had to be abbreviated.
Yeah.
So, and it's kind of along those same lines. Like, you can't call it a Canadian breakfast stout if it's not from Canada. From Canada. Why do I always come from Canada? Right. But that's here. Only here. Everywhere else, it's just called IPA Scotch.
Interesting. Okay. Cool.
But yeah, that's the last thing I went to.
Awesome. I have to keep an eye out for the Scotch.
Yeah, it was interesting, man. It's like a $60 play
for
that one. Yeah, and they had another one called Project 20, and then they had a third one, which was aged in ice wine barrels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know my dad. My dad's been getting into Scotch for a few years, and he likes beer. So maybe this is a good Christmas gift.
Yeah, man. This row shotgun, the Scotch, the IPA Scotch. They paired it with Founders All Day IPA. It was very pleasant.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, so now that does it for our week. Coming up this week, it all revolves around FoBAB, really.
The 15th annual.
25th, right?
No,
I thought it was 25th.
it can't be. That can't be right. Because remember,
It's 15th? I thought it was 25th.
it can't be 25. No way. I think 15. We'll pull it up.
I think it was 25.
We both got these fancy new phones. We're gonna pull it up right now.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But FoBAB is this weekend.
this year it's happening again at the UIC Forum. 3 sessions. There's one on Friday and then 2 on Saturday, a Saturday morning and a Saturday afternoon. I believe the event is sold out.
I know for sure Friday night and Saturday, which is when the awards are.
Saturday afternoon, yeah.
Because it serves as a competition as well. So
Yeah.
you got judges flying in from across the country, JBF-esque style to 15th.
15. All right, you were right. I feel like
I was like, dude, is that really? Because I remember when we went to what was it, Bridgeport? I remember that being the 10th.
Okay.
Because we had to lug around all that. We did the documentary. We had all this gear, and I just remember the number 10.
I just felt like it was 25 because there's no way I've been to so many of them. I've pictured, because I've been going to FoBAB for probably 10 years.
Do you remember? Yeah, I was gonna say. You remember your first one, man? It's
I could go. No, I don't know if we were doing a Hopcast. We might have done a Hopcast at the first one I ever went to.
because it started at
The Plumbers Union.
Plumbers Union over in good old that good West Loop.
Yeah. So yeah, I could probably go back on a Hopcast there. I don't know if I went to one beforehand, before doing a Hopcast or not.
I tell you, that's the first time I heard about it. Was I watched an episode of Hopcast, and you guys recorded both sessions, right?
Yeah.
And I think Crowley. This was pre-Haymarket.
Yeah. So
And
we
I was
had
like-
to have gone previously and not gone to both sessions, and then like.
So you're probably talking like 07, 08 probably for you. 07 would put you at 10 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my first one was 2010.
Okay. And then if you look back, FoBAB also started, it was at Rock Bottom for like, I think a year.
Yeah.
And then it was in like, I want to say like Pete Crowley's garage
I think it started at Crowley's, went to Rock Bottom, then it made a stop at the old Goose Wrigley, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then Plumbers Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And now it's at USC Forum. Mm-hmm. Oh, but before USC Forum,
Bridgeport.
My favorite one, Bridgeport Skyline, the Skyline Loft at Bridgeport Arts Center.
Right. Because that whole path is a very interesting thing for FoBAB because you get a sense of like scrappiness in the beginning. Then Plumbers Union was kind of like, all right, we gotta make this legit.
At the time, it was like a nice upgrade, right?
Yeah.
It's like look at all this space, look at all these lights. You know,
We got a stage. We can do awards.
we got this upstairs where the VIP can be.
Yeah, they quickly outgrew that, and it got to just be a cluster. Because you could also, when it was at the Plumbers Union, you could basically you could start at one end, and drink your way around.
Yeah.
And you could drink almost every beer at FoBAB.
Yeah.
Like about 8 years ago, yeah. And then I went to Bridgeport, which was a really good Chicago location.
It was a perfect location, I thought. You could see downtown from up there. Everything was really nice, soft lighting, wood everywhere. And then, but people got stuck in the elevator. It was old vintage elevators there.
And it was far from everything, not only for like bringing the beer, but if something happened or getting people there. So, and now it's at the USC Forum, which is probably the most practical place.
Yep.
But they've kind of outgrown that too.
Yeah.
It's
which is why because it used to be 2 sessions.
Yeah, they do the main room, then they have this other side room where they have
Like ciders
cider
and sours.
and not even all the sours. It's like ciders and something else. Perry's and then they have the upstairs for the VIP and workers.
Yeah.
So crazy.
It's a good party. I think it's our finest hour as a city, Well, all these beers take so long to make, and there's such limited quantities, and they're so.
Yeah, but we'll be there. Right?
Yeah. We'll
For a Saturday session, so keep an eye out for us. Probably taking photos, video, whatever, stuff we do.
Stuff.
Yeah. But this is going to be the first place where the masses can try the new Bourbon County that makes you wet your pants.
I got a feeling Goose is gonna act bad at this thing too, because they weren't allowed to go to GABF. They've been around 29 years. This is the first time they haven't been to GABF, so this is their first real party of the year, right? So yeah, but they always bring the pain at that thing. That they're always there's always the longest line.
Yeah, I would highly recommend if you're going, just go to Goose right away. Or split up, have someone wait on the Goose line, and you go fill up glasses at like Perennial or Side Project, or I don't know what's gonna be the hot one this year right now.
Yeah, everywhere you turn, there's gonna be something nice. I was really, even like national players are getting into it, like Weldworks from Colorado. I get excited about Spawn from Jester King down in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
I think you have guys who I remember Spiteful a few years ago, not nationally where we're talking, but Spiteful made their debut at FoBAB.
Damn.
They're like, we didn't have a ticket. So then they entered, barrel aged GFY. And then a year later, they ended up, winning for barley wine and for stout, which is cool.
I think I have usually a few beers. I'll wait for this new Bourbon County. But then for the most part, I just go to random things. I'm like, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
Hey, let me try this. I have no game plan because all beers you can only have once, more than likely, and you won't remember them.
Yeah, I think Steve Masney from Beer Down Low said it best. He's like, 85% of the beers you have in this room, if you went to a bar, it would be the first beer you got. And this is a room full of those beers. And I think that's the perfect way to describe FoBAB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get ready for that. Hopefully everyone listening has tickets. We'll probably just next week, if we're not on location somewhere, we're just going to talk about FoBAB.
Yeah.
We should probably, even if we're recording somewhere, just do a side episode for everyone about FoBAB.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
But leading up to FoBAB, we got events.
Yeah, there's tons of pre-FoBAB events. It becomes like this week-long celebration of barrel-aged beer. And, we're really close to Chicago geographically. It's so close to, the bourbon country, right? So, and that's really, I think, that's a huge part of why barrel-aged beers are so popular here. That's Goose got into it around 1992, 1995, depending on who you ask. We're close to that place, and we really enjoy these kind of beers. Oh, but anyway, let's talk about these parties. Benny's flagship Benny's is doing a Benny's Barrel Aged Classic. That's a $40 ticket. That's on Wednesday.
Okay.
That's from 6 to 8. They invited 50 breweries out. You can see a list of their breweries at their website. It actually looks like a pretty legit party, man.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. FoBAB sneak peek at the Beer Temple. Okay. So they are going to have 10 FoBAB beers on draft, and they're also going to have bottles that they're going to be sharing as well, that they're going to be pouring from. The Local Option. I love Local Option. Their party is the Local Option, the festival of barrel-aged beers. That's this week. Moody Tongue, and they're gonna have a barrel-aged tap takeover all week. They're gonna do so that's the 9th through the 13th. So they're gonna have 5 of their barrel-aged beers on tap. And then the Avery's getting in on the action. So the Avery's gonna have parties at Fountainhead and at Lynx this week.
Okay.
All barrel-aged beers.
I think I'll make my way. I think friends having a birthday party Saturday after FoBAB. So yeah.
Oh wow.
At Lynx. So.
There you go. And then, Kaiser Tiger's getting in on the act. They have an event called the Dice of Doom. So you can roll a 20-sided dice for the right to win a bottle of Malort Barrel-Aged Dark Lord.
Okay.
Now, I didn't even know that Malort required a barrel, right?
Like, that's just the bathtub.
I thought it was just like bathtub liqueur. But yeah, so there's that. Oh, speaking of Dark Lord, shout out to Lone Wolf. It was their 4th year anniversary party. Okay. And they had Dark Lord on tap this week.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, they've got dedicated Floyd's taps. They got 4 dedicated Floyd's taps over there.
Damn.
Yeah. Whew.
That's it?
Yeah, I think so.
And we got a whole page of beer news to get through here too. Man, we're just this show is creeping in. How about we do 2 highlights and we'll kick out some extra beer news, so we don't run over everyone's. I know everyone likes these episodes for their commute. Keep them at 30 minutes for people, right?
Keep it 30 minutes.
Give me 2 highlights and then we'll do we'll record the rest and we'll throw out a link on
That
Twitter.
sounds good. Six Flags has an event called the Last Call Fall Festival. So
Okay.
from the 4th through the 19th, every Saturday and Sunday, from noon to 8, they're going to have 20 local breweries and live music at Six Flags. And then after that, they're done for the season.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, so that's a cool event. Also, Imperial Flannel Pajamas from Beguile. That's their big barrel-aged stout. That goes on sale November 17th.
Nice. So,
All right, cool. And we'll stop there.
2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Keep a lookout on our Twitter. We'll cover the rest of the beer news on there for everyone. We're keeping this around 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Everyone getting to work or wrapping up their day. So make sure you have your beer.
Like, Nick, shut the fuck up. It's been 38 minutes.
So, Nick, where can people find you, get in touch, tell you what beers they should have at FoBAB or let you know? Or,
Right on, man. I'm on Twitter at Nicosio.
And I'm on Twitter at BRAD. Chicago Beer Pass is on Twitter at Chicago Beer Pass. Website, chicagobeerpass.com. All the episodes are posted there. Links to iTunes, Stitcher, the YouTube version as well. And, yeah, our Instagram, we're posting there all the time, almost daily.
Yeah.
Check that out. Yeah. And we'll be back with some FoBAB info next week. Take care.
Cheers.